Tracy Lawrence. 7:42. 18 till, and I got to tell you what I spent most of my time last week on vacation doing.
Besides eating?
Besides eating. It was on Facebook.
Really?
I thought you hate Facebook.
Well, I do. I mean, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. But there was something going on and I got caught up in this thing. Just watching it happen was absolutely better than any TV show.
What was that?
For those of you who do Facebook, you know that usually it's a way to you can find people like you went to school with, maybe small town, and they all kind of group up and friend each other, and you connect with people that you've lost.
Right.
Well, that's true with the Rogersville High School crowd as well. Mm-hmm. And I mean, and there's just about everybody. I mean, I think we graduated 160 people in the senior class the year I graduated. And I think about all of them
have the internet.
Are all just about. There's a couple of them still live up in Ross Campground that don't have it yet. But, so it is about a week ago. There was a face popped up, started popping up on everybody's page saying, "Hey, great to find you guys. At this time in my life, it's really good to reconnect with old friends." And people were automatically friending this guy, accepting this guy's friendship.
Did you know who it was?
Apparently, no, I didn't. And apparently nobody else did either. But everybody was accepting him, and everybody was afraid to ask anybody else. Anybody know this guy?
Mm-hmm.
And because his name was John Smith. Ooh.
Wow.
And his birthday was April 1st, April Fool's Day.
Okay.
All right. And he graduated from Rogersville High School, we all thought at first. Went to Cambridge University, the Cambridge.
Very prestigious.
Spoke like 4 languages, had done, life-saving charity work all over the world, and was now our age and fully retired. And I mean, it was just amazing. And he had pictures that looked like the guy that does what's the beer where the most amazing man that ever lived drinks? Have you seen that?
I haven't.
You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. All the pictures look like that guy.
No kidding.
And the face is incredibly familiar. So finally, I watching this thing, and I got to thinking, you know what? Nobody knows this guy.
Now, how did you know that nobody knew this guy?
Well, I didn't at first, but I knew I didn't know him, and I wasn't going to be the one to ask. So one morning, I get a note on Facebook from somebody that I know who says, "I noticed you had a conversation with this John Smith. Do you know him?" Because I'd sent him a note asking him about something he said.
Yeah.
And trying to figure out who he was. And I sent a note back saying, "You know what? I don't know him. And I tell you what I think it is one of us jerking everybody else around by seeing how many of us will accept somebody that we don't know and act like we do."
Right.
I think it's an experiment in Facebook mentality here.
Yeah.
But I said, let's see. Maybe somebody will pop up and know this guy. Well, then I started getting emails from everybody wanting to know, do you know him? Yeah, do you know him? Do you know him? Because what I had done, he said he was sick and we had a doctor's appointment. And he listed this disease that was that long. Mm-hmm. So I looked it up. And it's number one, the longest word in the English language, officially. Okay. But it is a real disease. And I said, well, isn't that convenient?
Right.
This John Smith, born April 1st, who none of us know, has the longest
name.
In the history of the English language, that you only get from ingesting and inhaling tremendous amounts of silica. So I sent him a note, and I just said, "So, John, what kind of work were you doing to breathe in that much silica?" So he sends me a note back. "Well, I was doing volunteer work when Mount Pinatubo or whatever it was erupted in 1992, and I was in Indonesia, and I was helping the victims." And I said, "Oh, okay, well, great, man." He said, "I guess I should have worn a mask." So okay. And then it turns out, no, he doesn't have that disease. He's got another disease. I guess I got that when I was doing relief work in San Francisco with the homeless people. And I don't know. So this just can't be. So, I mean, by then, everybody in town is of the belief that this is a made-up character, and he's trying to prove that he is a real human being.
Right.
That nobody remembers. So now the story is this guy His mom and dad moved into town for a couple of years while they were working on a TVA project. And his mom and dad homeschooled him because they moved around and they didn't want to put him in school and then jerk him out. So they were homeschooling him, and he used to ride around the school and just wish that he could be part of the whole thing. And he, got to know a few people, but not many. And now he's going to be in Rogersville this Friday.
According to Facebook.
According to Facebook, with he and his friend Ben, who's a professional photographer, are going to be in town this Friday at the Hale Springs Inn to celebrate his birthday weekend at in the town that he loves so much and probably is going to retire to. And all the women in town have gone nuts. I mean, this guy's a looker. But one of them said, he's great eye candy. I mean, and he's posting pictures now with, for the girls and stuff. And it's
John Smith.
John Smith. And I sent him a note. I said, you know what? I don't know if you're real or not, but to watch this has just been so enjoyable. This is masterful.
What did he respond with that?
I don't remember now.
Did he?
Yeah, he always responds. In
So
fact,
it's-
he's now a friend of the Weasel Morning Crew.
You've seen him?
No.
No, Gary's not on Facebook, but he's now a friend of the Weasel Morning Crew. He said he's listening this morning in Atlanta. So I at this stage of the game am tempted to go home Friday
And see who he is.
just to stand there in front of the hotel and watch what happens.
I think it'd be interesting.
Because whether this guy is real or not, he has given that little town and that little group of people something to talk about like they haven't had in 30 years. Everybody in town's buzzing about this guy.
Wow.
It's. I mean, there are people offering now to sell him houses. Real estate agents are looking for property for him. There's restaurants offering him free food, free meals, to celebrate his birthday weekend. I mean, I swear, you would think it was a movie star or a war hero coming back home, and nobody knows him.
That's amazing.
It really is one of the most amazing things I've ever watched. And I'm really tempted, just as soon as the show's over Friday, to hit the road so I can be in Rogersville at the Hale Springs Inn just to see what this really is. Have you looked at him?
I am.
Does he not look familiar to you?
He does look familiar.
It's like somebody you've seen on TV or something. But he speaks Korean and Chinese and something, and he's saved the world 7 or 8 times.
Well, there's his nipple.
Well, that's some more eye candy for the girls.
Okay.
Because they all. He said that's the curse of being married or being a roommate with a professional photographer. That other picture in there with him sitting in front of the fire with the dog, that looks like the guy with the
Yes.
with the beer. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, John, if you're out there this morning, thanks for the week, man. I didn't even have to leave town. It was like going to Disney World, watching all the freaky people do freaky things. It was really incredible. And to this day, nobody
Knows who he is.
can say they know this guy.
Wow. That's
I did
amazing.
find one guy in Salt Lake City that I do remember, who's a professional photographer now, who made some comment like he knew him.
This whole thing reminds me of that Andy Griffith episode where the guy was buddies with the guy in the Army whose hometown was Mayberry.
And he came back
then
and
he
knew everything.
Knew everything about everybody.
Exactly.
And it was just because he loved that town so much.
Exactly.
Either that or he's trying to scam you guys out of a bunch of money over at the hotel.
Well, I'm telling you, I think he's got everything this weekend's free for him, and I think they're having a parade Sunday afternoon. I'm not real sure, but this is it's just been so much fun to watch. So if
This is weird. That's a weird.
isn't that odd?
Yeah, I wouldn't get too involved because everything is nothing is very specific.
No,
on
and
this
even if you
page.
look at these pictures on his that he's taken, the places he's lived, they're all pictures that you could get off of a website somewhere. None of them have him in them. It's like Mount, Ponatubo or whatever it is, erupting, but it's at the Air Force. Picture from the Air Force base.
And you would think that a guy that has experienced this much in life would have more than 232 friends.
Well, and almost all of them are Rogersville people.
yeah,
Almost all of them. He just popped out of nowhere here about 2 weeks ago.
he's getting ready to go scam somebody.
I think he's getting ready to take the town. I think he's getting ready to clean the town out. What do you think?
I do.
Yeah, I think I may go home Friday. We'll do the show, and then I'm going to hit the road. You guys may be in the beauty contest by yourself this weekend.
See, any way that you've created a fake profile to get out of that thing.
I did this whole thing myself just to get out of the Sweet Pea contest. 7:52.
Now, Weasel Total Traffic from the Gerald's Tires Michelin Harmony Traffic Center.
A wreck I-26 inbound before the 52 connector. A wreck on Remount Road near I-26. Another wreck over on Bohicket Road near Kano Street. A wreck on Old Orangeburg Road in front of DuBose School.